Do you ever feel trapped in a psychological thriller scene, second guessing your own reality, as if caught up in a manipulative spiderweb? You're not alone, and there's a name for that: master puppeteer. They are the covert narcissists, or what we sometimes refer to as the vulnerable narcissist. Now, to unmask these complex characters and reclaim control of your narrative, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and let's dive right into the secrets of understanding, managing these hidden narcissists in your life. But firstly, when we say narcissism, we're not sort of almost like pointing fingers at the typical vanity or the stubbornness we all display occasionally. I'm talking about pathological narcissism, a persistent trait marked by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, entitlement, lack of empathy, and a resistance to criticism. Think of characters like Joffrey in Game of Thrones, the self-absorbed and cold-hearted character. Or, if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, maybe the Joker in the Dark Knight movies. Now, today we're not discussing the grandiose, overt type of narcissist. Our focus is on the more subtle, covert, or vulnerable narcissist. You see, identifying covert narcissism isn't always easy, especially in the beginning. That's why it's often referred to as the hidden side of narcissism, flying under the radar. When it comes to covert narcissism, we often encounter individuals who may appear quite self-deprecating. So they criticize themselves, or they pull themselves down. But they struggle with deep-seated insecurities and are hypersensitive to any form of criticism. Regardless of how the narcissism manifests, there is usually a strong sense of entitlement and an unfortunate gift for being disagreeable. They constantly crave validation and attention while lacking empathy for those around them. The tricky part is that covert or vulnerable narcissists can be mistaken for introverts or shyness or even anxiety. In fact, they may genuinely experience these emotions. They might have mixed feelings when it comes to seeking the attention they desperately desire. On the one hand, they get excited by positive feedback and admiration and sympathy. But on the other hand, they are highly sensitive to negative feedback and rejection. Now, although some of the characteristics overlap with grandiose narcissism, how covert narcissists present themselves differs significantly. Imagine the cunning and manipulative Littlefinger character, again from the Game of Thrones. Just as a covert narcissist, he was less outwardly domineering, but equally as self-centered as a covert narcissist. Recognizing their tactics can be as tricky as deciphering a complex plot twist in a Christopher Nolan movie. Whether you're dealing with a partner, a family member, a friend, or a work colleague, understanding the tactics of a covert narcissist can significantly affect your relationships. It's crucial to realize that any interaction with a narcissist is likely an encounter with three personas rolled into one: the justified narcissist, who firmly believes they're right; the innocent narcissist, who plays the role of a naive bystander; and the victim narcissist, who sees himself as the constant target of others and the world's unfairness. They artfully dodge responsibility, much like a skilled actor convincingly playing multiple roles. So let's break down some of the traits of a covert narcissist. So one of the first traits is the illness act. It's a common ploy exaggerating illnesses or weaknesses to dodge accountability. Now picture an Oscar-worthy performance of feigned sickness to dodge an uncomfortable conversation or just to kind of like avoid blame. The next one is the unbearable pain of disagreement. Here they turn your disagreement into It's like a personal attack, causing them intolerable distress. When it comes to taking responsibility, they're experts at blame shifting and shaming. They project blame and use various strategies to avoid accountability, leaving you feeling frustrated and often just sort of spending your time apologizing. Now, this can feel as dramatic as the infamous Red Wedding episode in Game of Thrones, where a minor disagreement leads to like an epic catastrophe. The next one is the emotional hostage. And this is where they insist that any denial of their wants or needs will lead to their suffering, with you painted as the villain. It's a game of emotional chess designed to make you the keeper of their happiness. The next trait of the covert narcissist is don't tell me. So this is sarcasm or being dismissive of themselves, but highly sensitive to criticism that challenges their faultless self-image. Even constructive criticism can be crushing to them. You know, this character of Elliot Alderson, played by Rami Malek in the TV series Mr. Robot, demonstrates this trait. Elliot's fragile sense of self is quickly shattered by any feedback that challenges his perfect self-image. The next characteristic is, I'll hurt you more. So when hurt, they can hold grudges and seek revenge, often through passive-aggressive means like gossip or even just character assassination. Their vindictiveness is fueled by this sense of injustice. Vindictiveness can be seen in the character of Frank Underwood, played by Kevin Spacey in the TV series House of Cards.
The only thing more satisfying than convincing someone to do what I want is failing to persuade them on purpose. It's like a do not enter sign. It just begs you to walk through the door.
Frank seeks revenge on those who wronged him, often through calculated and manipulative means.
Every kitten grows up to be a cat. They seem so harmless at first, small, quiet, lapping up their saucer of milk. But once their claws get long enough, they draw blood, sometimes from the hand that feeds them. For those of us climbing to the top of the food chain, there can be no mercy. There is but one rule: hunt or be hunted.
The next characteristic of the covert narcissist is the green-eyed monster. And underneath their quiet demeanor, they secretly feel inadequate when comparing themselves to others, leading to this sense of intense envy. They might intellectualize or moralize to hide their own flaws and weaknesses. Another characteristic of the covert narcissist is the guilt trip. So, ever had your valid concerns flipped back on you? They have a knack for making you feel guilty or even for suggesting that this just might be your fault. It's likely they plant a seed of doubt that grows into self-blame. Another characteristic of the covert narcissist is word salad. They may employ sophisticated language or complex reasoning, creating a smokescreen for their lack of accountability. It's convoluted, confusing, and just designed to keep you off balance. Another characteristic is the art of confusion. Here they act perplexed, further dodging responsibility and trying to make you lose your cool. It's like you've been dropped into the middle of Lost. That is, the line between reality and fiction. It blurs until you start to sort of almost like question your own memory. Another characteristic of the covert narcissist is triangulation. So by bringing third parties into the mix and painting themselves as the innocent party, they attempt to isolate you. It's like a courtroom drama where you've been tried and convicted based on misrepresentations and half-truths. A further characteristic is the silent treatment. Now, by withholding communication or responding abruptly, they amplify feelings of guilt and unease. This method and exaggerated friendliness towards others makes you feel excluded and alone. Another characteristic of covert narcissists is emotional blackmail. Now, this is their, dare I say, it's their ultimate weapon. Something, to the effect of, if you challenge me, I'll harm myself and it will be your fault. Now, they're holding the detonator in a high stakes game of emotional control, just getting ready to touch the button. Another one is admire me while I care. So while they may show empathy, it's often self-serving. They're caring and compassionate when it serves their reputation and also their self-importance. They seek approval and admiration, even abandoning acts of charity if they don't get the praise they crave. Now, these tactics and these characteristics are designed to make you question your reality and keep you forever on your toes. Yet knowledge, it seriously is power. By understanding these ploys, you can start to reclaim your control. Always remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're all in this together, trying to make sense of these puzzling scenarios. So let's continue this journey of discovery and understanding one step at a time. Now, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.